It's Wednesday, my dudes, and we are playing Clues by Sam again. We have a medium one today. Very nice, very nice. Again, yesterday's medium wasn't like that hard, which I'm glad for. Like, I don't think we need to be starting the week with such hard puzzles. And especially after last week's confusion about the difficulties on the two puzzles on the weekend, I think the difficulties are something that, of course, is very subjective to everybody. So I guess it's just practice. We don't need to worry that much about what the puzzles say it is, right? We just need to worry about having fun. So if you want to play along with me, there is a link in the description. And if you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a daily puzzle where there are 20 people on a board and we gotta find out if each of them is either a criminal or an innocent looking at the clues that they give us. And I play this every day here on the channel and explain my logic as I go so you can follow along with me. So let's start. Start with Will telling us there are exactly two innocents in between Isaac and Xavi. So two people between them, both of them are innocents. We gotta double check that the clue says innocent. Nala now says that two people in a corner have an innocent directly above them. So there's four people in a corner, right? Four corners total. If two of them have an innocent directly above them, and two of them don't have anybody above them, Donald and Alice don't have anybody above them, that means that the other two have to have innocents above them. So Kita and Tyler are both innocent, and we don't need Nala's clue anymore. Salil says that Alice is the only one with exactly one innocent neighbor. Okay, so she has three innocent neighbors. She has three neighbors total, and only one of them. Oh, we don't know about Elise and Donald. We know that either Elise or Donald. Am I misinterpreting this clue completely? Let's look at it again. Elise is the only one with exactly one innocent neighbor. So nobody else has only one innocent neighbor. Who is at risk of having only one innocent neighbor? We don't know yet, so let's leave that clue for later and look at Kita's. Xavi is one of two criminals in column C, so we have one criminal here. And either Isaac or Chloe are gonna be the second and last neighbor in that column. Tyler says that only one of the five criminals on the edges is in row 2. So row 2 has two people on the edges. Only one of them is a criminal. The other one's going to be an innocent then. And we know there's 5 criminals on the edges total. One of them is Xavier already. But we have 14 people on the edges. If 5 of them are criminals, that means that 9 of them are innocents. Now, Xavier says that an odd number of innocents in column B neighbor Flora. So where's Flora? Flora has 3 people in column B neighboring her. Either 3 of them are innocents or just one of them. Those are the odd possibilities. Now, we know that Alice has only one innocent neighbor, right? So that means that Flora couldn't have 3 people neighboring her as innocents in column B, because that will make Alice have more innocents, since both Betty and Hazel, who neighbor Flora in column B, also neighbor Alice. If both of them were to be innocents, then Alice would be having more innocents than she should. So we know that Flora has only one innocent neighboring her in column B, right? Now, we know that Donald has one innocent neighboring him here in column C, either Chloe or Isaac, but Donald couldn't have only one innocent neighboring him because Alice is the only person that has only one innocent. So Joy has to be the second innocent for Donald, and that makes Flora a criminal. Now we know that Alice has Betty and Hazel as opposites neighboring her because one of them has to be an innocent and the only innocent that neighbors Alice. Nice. Now, Flora says that each column has at least 3 innocents. So, what column needs a third innocent that we don't know about? I guess we gotta think about the criminals on the edges and the instance in each column, because column A needs 2 more instances, at least. So if that's the case, let's say that Logan and Vince both are instances. And column D needs 1 more instant as well. So let's say that Pam is that instant. Now, how many people on the edges are left that are not instants? Alice, Donald, and Zed, that's 3. And Betty and Chloe. So that's more than we need to make 5 criminals on the edges, which we know by Tyler that is our total. What else? Do we know about somebody that has only 1 instant neighbor? I don't think so. Everybody has more than that so far. Flora has none. But she is gonna have 1 here in column B. She will need at least a second one. Is this medium? I'm gonna go through the clues again. So each column has at least 3 instances. We know that Will is an instant in column B, and there's gonna be a second one here. So do we know about Martin and Ruby? If they are opposites. We know they are not both criminals because then column B wouldn't have enough instants. But could both of them be instants? I guess they could. Not seeing why not. Not seeing why not. Xavier says that an odd number of instances in column B, neighbor Flora. Oh, so we know that Martin is a criminal for sure because Flora is gonna have only 1 instant here in column B, and that instant is gonna be neighboring Alice as well. So Martin is a criminal. And now we know that Ruby has to be an instant because column B needs 3 instants. So she gives us a new clue. Exactly 1 instant to the left of Pam is neighboring Flora. So to the left of Pam, there's 3 people. So far, none of them who neighbor Flora are instant. So that means that Logan has to be an instant. And we don't need Ruby's clue anymore. Now we know that Alice and Vince, at least one of them has to be an instant. So that column A has a 3rd instant. Logan says there are more instances in column A than column D. So both Alice and Vince have to be instants. Why is that? Because we know that column D has to have at least 3 instances. Because every column has to have at least 3, according to Flora. If the minimum number of instances that column D has to have is 3, then column A has to have more than 3. And the only possibility for column A to have more than 3 is with both Alice and Vince being instants. Now, Vince says there are exactly 2 instances in row 5, so those are Vince and Will, which makes that a criminal. Now we know that Pam and Donald are opposites because there's only 3 instances in column D. And I don't need Flora's clue anymore. We know there's 5 criminals on the edges, so how many do we have so far? Flora, Xavier, and Zed, that's 3. We're gonna have 4 with either Pam or Donald, so that means that Betty and Chloe are opposites. So that we can have a 5th criminal here on the edge. But how do I deal with that? Or does that make somebody... Let me make Chloe a criminal. That will make Betty an instant and Isaac an instant. And Hazel a criminal. So that works. Don't see why not. If it worked the opposite, Chloe would be a criminal and Betty... Chloe would be an instant, Betty a criminal, and Isaac a criminal. That works as well. Or does it not? Is there something I'm not seeing? Somebody with only 1 instant neighbor I'm not seeing? I don't think so. Like, everybody has more than that. So only one of the 5 criminals on the edges is in row 2. So 3, 4 here. Have I overlooked something? Somebody that gave me a clue and I dismissed it when I shouldn't have. One innocent to the left of Pam is neighboring Flora, so that's Logan. Xavier is one of 2 criminals in column C. Yeah, the second one's gonna be here. We know these guys are opposites. There's nothing we can do about it, though. 2 innocents in row 5 are here. 2 innocents between Isaac and Xavier are here. That's the clue we started with. Odd number of innocents in column B neighbor Flora. Yeah. No one in row 4 has more than 3 criminal neighbors. Did I dismiss this and not read it at all? Because we're talking about row 4. No one in row 4 has more than 3 criminal neighbors. So if Celeu were to have Pam as a criminal neighbor, he would have more than 3 criminal neighbors. So Pam has to be an innocent, which makes Donald a criminal. Nice. So I did dismiss a clue that I shouldn't have, and I didn't even read it because I don't remember reading it. Donald says that 2 criminals in column B have an innocent directly to the left of them. So that means we're talking about criminals in column B who have an innocent directly to the left of them. So far, there's only one, that's Martin. And if we were to make Hazel a criminal, that would force Betty to be an innocent, and we wouldn't have a second criminal in column B who has an innocent to their left, because Hazel will be the last criminal in the column with a criminal to her left. So Hazel has to be an innocent, which makes Betty a criminal with an innocent to her left. And Betty being a criminal makes Chloe an innocent, which makes Isaac a criminal, and we are done the puzzle. Nice. Good. Love it. Love it. I've been loving the different types of clues we've been getting, and I have been making sort of a little bit of an effort to try and explain more of my line of thought, and I do take more time, but I want to be really clear as to why I'm making that decision, because sometimes I just say, oh, that's because of this, then that, and it isn't really clear what in the clue is making me have that conclusion. So I'm trying to bring back why that clue works with the whole puzzle to make me have that conclusion, right? And I hope you guys are enjoying it. If not, then let me know. And I'll leave this video here for now. I'll see you tomorrow for more Clues by Sam, so bye bye.